Hey, people. Hey, how the devil are you? How you doing? It's I, Duggystone, from Duggystone Radio. And this is a podcast and a half. The Duggystone Show. Oh, yeah. The Duggystone Show. Yeah, I had the amazing pleasure of speaking to Luke Evo, who's a professional boxer, and he was about to fight on the 16th of June 2018. And that's not remarkable in itself, but considering last year, in 2017, he was violently attacked, knife crime, could have ended his life and also his career. And it was his return fight, or it is his return fight, and he was fighting in Bolton, so I wish him all the very best for that. And we talked about the knife crime and about boxing in general, about what he's doing, what he's training, how he's doing it. A really great interview, and I really appreciate Luke spending the time. He'd been interviewed by the BBC, he was interviewed by me, and he was going off to do another one, and he'd been several this week. He was worn out. I think it's easier to box than it is to do all the interviews. Unbelievable. But yeah, this is so special, podcast special. I like to talk about adversity in business and dyslexia. Well, this is a bit of adversity in there, and I really appreciate his openness, his candid approach to what he was talking about, and his view on life in general. So what a great individual, and he's from my hometown. So yeah, big up to Eccles in Manchester, Salford. And anyway, now shut up. Let's get on with the show. And you can check shows out like this as well at Duggystone Radio. Duggystone Radio. Duggystone Radio. We're freaking global, baby. The Duggystone Show. Right, people, as you know, this podcast radio station, wherever you're listening to, we cover all sorts of subjects, and we do business shows Monday to Friday. I talk about dyslexia, adversity in business and all stuff like that. But then I also get special guests in and talk about things, and hope you enjoy what we're gonna chat to today. And I've managed to track this guy down through contacts. That's how it happens. And I'm really pleased I'm going to let him introduce himself anyway. So introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name's Luke Evans. I'm a professional boxer who's 7-0. I'm undefeated, and I'm from Salford, Greater Manchester.
Oh yeah, proper man, proper. No, that's really good, and I really appreciate you just spending the time, because obviously when we're conducting this interview now, I've only got a couple of days till your fight that's coming up on Saturday. Yeah, so this obviously correct, people might be listening to this in months' time, but this is like 2 days before, so. Yeah, I'm presuming doing I want to talk about that a bit, and I want to talk about some of the other stuff that's going on with you. But so you're currently doing a lot of training for that, a lot of preparation for it?
Yeah, I mean, all the hard work's done now, so it's just about chilling out. I'm quite busy this week with the media side of things, but it's just all about relaxing now. I'm pretty much a couple of pounds above my weight. Everything's gone smoothly, so I'm just really looking forward to Saturday now.
Yeah. That makes sense, and probably a lot of people don't obviously realise that. They see you as an individual, whatever sports people are doing, and you go in the ring and think, oh well, does a bit of training and then does a fine, that's it. But it's all the other stuff that you got to do, like self-promoting. Unless you've got a massive team behind you, like some of the big sports people, then you've got to do like your interviewing with me. It's your time. You got to give your time up for me, and I know you've been on the BBC and other places, which is blooming great. So. That must take a lot of your time up doing that and promoting yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I've just literally come from the BBC about an hour ago, so I've had an interview there today. I've got a few more later on today, so I'm quite busy person this week with the media side of things. It's all about marketing yourself and trying to promote yourself and sell yourself to the audience that's interested, like the boxing fans. Without the boxing fans, most wouldn't be where they're at now in their careers. It's all about making money. It's more of a business than a sport. I hate to even say that, but it's actually true.
Yeah.
So if you can enjoy what you do and love what you do, that's great. But you've also got to make sure you're getting a livelihood from it. I mean, I don't work. I train 2 to 3 times a day, every day. So I'm very fortunate enough I can live out my dream, even though it is tough financially. It is very tough, but I'm just grateful and blessed to have that opportunity to do that.
I'm really pleased you've said that about money, because whatever, unless you go and live in a cave somewhere and you're not bothered about anything, you need whatever you need to be doing. You need to be doing it for the money, and that's why I do my business shows related around, get people focusing on what they're really passionate about. If you're really passionate about something, i.e. boxing, then why not do that as your career and put all your energy into it and try and make a career out of it. So. And that makes perfect sense. So with the I don't even want you to talk about numbers or anything. So when you're doing your fighting, do you get paid? Do you get paid if you win or lose, or you only get paid if you win? How does all that sort of work?
You get paid either way. You have a home fighter and an away fighter. Earlier on in the career, the away fighter will get a set amount straight away before he enters the ring. The home fighter will have to sell tickets to earn his wage. So it all depends on how many people come to watch you and what tickets you sell, really, until you get to that sort of level where you've come from the Great Britain set up in the amateurs, or you've been to the Olympics. If you don't have any of them luxuries, you don't really get the golden spoon. You don't really get the silver spoon, I should say. So it's like a head start in your professional career. Yeah. So you've got to have a good amateur pedigree to get that luxury.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Clears a bit up. I ask questions that people might want to ask and don't want to ask. So I ask those questions. So, and it's good that you talk. Going back to the marketing side, I was not aware, because I'm not a massive. My son loves boxing. He watches all the matches and what have you. I'm not a massive boxing fan or anything. I'm not a massive sports fan, to be honest. But I am interested in people's stories and what they do and all the rest of it. So I was only made aware of you because of your activity on social media. So the activity on social media, your marketing, what you've been doing is working, because I've been made aware of you by what you've been doing. So fair play to you. What you are doing is working, because I'm in the Midlands and I'm getting messages from people that I know in Eccles, in Salford and what have you, because I'm from the same area as you. So I'm getting messages about you. So whatever you're doing is working. And
I appreciate that, because I think that's a massive side to boxing and sports in general, is the social media side of it. People don't tend to pick up on it, but it's very, very crucial. All these phones and the internet, it's very crucial to, like you said, being popular and making yourself popular through different varieties of social media, like your Instagrams, your Facebook and your Twitter. Any way possible, it can help your career out. So that's all I've done, is try to help my career through that.
Yeah, no, it's good. So, and then obviously I think a lot of people have been confused, and I was, because I said to someone, I'm going to be interviewing Luke Evo, boxer, that I suffered a terrible knife attack, Here's a picture of him, look at the state of him. That was before you had that. No, look at the state of him and all this, slashed to bits and everything. And then he said, you're fighting on Saturday. I was like, you can't be going in the ring like that. And I at first, and I had to look at it again and go, oh no, it was last year. So, but can you tell us a bit about that? I presume everyone's been asking you about that, and I've got to ask you the same thing as well. So, what was the incident? I've read a bit about it. So, what happened? Can you tell us?
Basically, it was the night of the Mayweather-McGregor fight last year. I just come off my best performance as a professional boxer. Box Nation actually voted me as a prospect for 2017. I come off my best performance, and then I went for a night out, the only bloody night out I ever get, because I've got a very strict lifestyle where I'm very restricted, and it was a night out, so I wanted to enjoy myself. I went out to watch the fight, and I stumbled across some youths at a fast food restaurant, and basically they started getting into an altercation with me. I decided to leave, walk off. They followed me, and that's when it all kicked off. That's when one of them brought a knife to the incident, and it was quite bizarre, really, because it happened all so fast. But the next thing you know, I'm fighting all the way up my town centre, trying to defend myself the best possible way. Then, within seconds, one of them just brought a knife out of somewhere and ran at me with the knife. And I just seen the flash in the corner of my eye, and it was very disturbing, and it was very, very scary position to be in on the receiving end of it. So it was a very gruesome injury. That injuries, I should say, that I received. I received two scars on my face now, two bad scars on my face, and I've been stabbed in my arm as well, all in the same night. So I kind of got set about quite viciously. It was like a pack of wolves, really, hunting their prey. Like, that's how I felt. But the main thing is I've recovered now. That's the main thing. I can't say too much about it because my court case is still ongoing. I got a court case in December, which is almost like a year and a half after my attack. Yeah. So it shows how serious they've took this case, because it's going to last for 3 weeks. So I'm grateful to still be here, because health is wealth, as they say. So I'm even blessed, though, to have my career back and being able to fight again on Saturday. It means the world to me.
Yeah, I should imagine, because I'm just listening to you talking to it now, and I'm reliving. I'm not reliving. You've painted a really good picture, because I actually felt what you were. You know what I mean? I'm obviously not felt what you felt, but I sort of got the feeling of what you were describing there. And there's a lot of it going around at the minute, and there's a big issue with crime and stabbings. There's been lots in London and what have you, and I don't know what's causing it and why people feel the need to do it. And quite the bad thing that could have happened is you could have ended up you've obviously badly scarred, and you'll be mentally and physically injured by that, but you could have ended up dying on that night, which is, we're not worth even thinking about, is it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, my life earlier on in that attack, after it happened, my life was ruined. I didn't have a future. I felt down in the dumps. I was very depressed. I felt very suicidal at times. I looked in the mirror and I was disgusted with my looks, and my confidence was completely shattered. But, like, if there's anyone out there who's thinking about picking a knife up, don't do it, because it's not just like the victim's life you're ruining. It's your own life. It's your family's life. It's their family's life. It's someone's son. It's someone's daughter. It could be someone's dad, someone's mother, sister, brother, anyone. You're taking someone's life away from them that maybe does or doesn't deserve it, but it's for the wrong reasons, like, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. No. It was the worst thing I've ever had to endure in my whole life, and I hope, like, people who hear this, if they know anyone that is dealing with that sort of issue, like, they need to, like, speak to someone and open up, because carrying a weapon in general, not just a knife, but in general, it's not something you should be proud of. It's not something you should be proud of. So I hope people do take notice of that and do raise awareness for it, because it's happening so much more nowadays. And it's only since my attack I've realised that it's happening a lot more. But it's always happened, before my attack. But I've only kind of realised that because it's happened to me. So I hope people don't have to go through my experience. I hope they can hopefully listen to what I've said and then take awareness from it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you've spoken about that, and that's what I really want to get out of a lot of interviews is what's happened to people and what effect it's had on them, and there's a message out there. And you're right, once something's affected you, you're going to be more.
I was having nightmares for months on end. I received counselling, and I did a lot of things really that I wasn't proud of either. I went out and I was being an idiot and stuff, and I was really in a very dark place. But I'm so happy to say now that at the end of that dark tunnel, like, I can see the light, and now I'm back in the ring Saturday. I've devoted my life to boxing again, and I'm very happy to be here. But some people don't get that second chance. So that's why I'm asking people who carry knives, or people who are thinking about carrying a knives, not to do it, because it's not just their life they're ruining. It's not just my life they're ruining, or the victim's life. It's everybody's life. It's the whole society. It's people's mentality that they're breaking. The confidence is gone. So hopefully people do take notice of that, and then they start to crack down on it a little bit more.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And there's got to be an underlying reason why we don't know, but though I'm sure someone else will know. There's got to be an underlying reason why people feel the need, and it's young blokes mainly that are doing it. Why they feel the need they've got to carry a knife. It might be what they're involved in. It could be a bit of a gang culture or whatever, but there's something's not quite right, and we need to address it. And you're right, because it's just not one. And people do things sometimes, and then they've got to live with that consequence for the rest of their life. So say those individuals that attack you or attack someone else, I've had a few drinks and they're not thinking straight, something goes on, and when you've got a few people together, then that mentality, the pack of wolf mentality kicks in, because it is, there's that in you, isn't there? There's that sort of thing. And then they could end up ruining their lives forever and someone else's life, and not something they intended to do. But the fact that you're physically walking around with a weapon, whether that's a blade or a knife or a gun or a hammer or whatever it is you've decided to walk around with, the chances are that's going to end up being used at some point, because everybody loses a temper at some time in their life, and and that's it. So I'm so glad that you're fit generally, and then obviously the mental thing will affect you, and it has affected you, and that's a real shame. So talking about the box, where did this happen actually? Was that in Manchester then, or was it in London?
It was no, it was in Salford. It was in the town centre, Eccles town centre. It was in my local town centre, and it's crazy because sometimes like people, they think, I wonder what it's like to be stabbed. I wonder what it's like to be shot, and then when it actually happened to me, I thought, wow, like, I hope I never experience that again.
Yeah, I bet.
And the fact it was at my town centre as well is always going to be mentally tough, because that's the place where I have to go shopping, that's the place where I have to go to the bank, that's the place where I have to walk to get public transport, Like, I have to see that on a day-to-day basis, and it is very tough, but it's going to make me a stronger person. So if anyone out there that is actually dealing with the same sort of emotions I have, do it for yourself, because you'll be a better person.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't realise it was in Eccles, because obviously, I'm from Eccles, and probably people might know, but I'm from Eccles as well. So, and I know a lot of people. I've lived there all my life. Well, to 19 years ago, I've not lived there since then, but my parents and my family still live around in the area. Wow. So are you actually still physically living in the area? So you're physically still living in the area, and that's, so that's, like you say, it's day to day, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm fortunate enough to be training at Ricky Hatton's gym, which is one of the best fighters to ever come out of Great Britain, in my eyes.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can leave some sort of legacy to my character and show people what I'm about. But I have been staying in one of Ricky Hatton's houses in Hyde. He's put me up in a house free of charge, so I can train full time.
Nice.
And I've been putting all my effort into it. So I'm very, very lucky to have had that opportunity. But I've actually just come back down to Eccles today. Last night, sorry. I've actually just come back last night. So I'm about today, and I'm seeing family and friends that I've not seen for weeks on end. So it's really nice. I'm very happy to be back. I mean, I've not been here for months, so it is a bit tough to think about like the places where I've been attacked and stuff. But I think it's time to let it go now and show people what my true character is, and that is how to come back and show people it's all right to have emotions and to come back from such distressing times like that. Yeah,
because the other thing as well, and I'm glad we've discussed a lot of stuff we have, because you're a boxer, right, and that is obviously, of all the sports, that has got to be one of the the most, I don't know, macho you can get, because two blokes or two women, because I know women box, but generally it's blokes, two blokes in the ring trying to physically knock each other out, and that's what you try to do. So people will look at the people like you and men and go, and a lot of time, we've got to be big and strong, and with no show no weakness. So for you as a boxer to actually say some things you've said, I think is brilliant, because people are going to go, well, actually, it's okay to feel scared, have nightmares, feel scared, and be hesitant about going back to that place. Because if Luke Evo feels like that, and he's a blooming boxer, then I can feel like that as well. You sort of giving people the opportunity to do what, to think the same way and not be bothered about it. I think that's brilliant, mate. I really appreciate you being open and honest about that. I think it's really good. So yeah, go on. Sorry.
It's not even an issue, mate. It's because, like, at the end of the day, every person, individual, everyone, we're all the same. We all live and breathe the same air. Do you know what I mean? We're different. We have different characteristics, obviously, but we're all the same people. Like, we all share the same goals in life. That's to, like, probably to be rich, to start a family, to have a good job, a good career, have a nice house, have a nice car. Everyone has different goals, but we're all similar in each way. So I think to be emotional, it's all right. boxer or not, you know, I'm just a normal person like everybody else. I've chose to box because I'm passionate about it and I'm good at it, so that's why I do it. But that's no different from the likes of yourself.
Yeah.
You have goals, you know, everyone has goals, so it's all right to be emotional and feel emotion. And the best part about this is I've found my true character since my knife attack. I mean, the first few months I was in the worst place of my life. Now I'm in the strongest place of my life, and I can happily say that, and I'm very, very motivated, and I'm just so grateful, like, to everybody that's been there for me. And I just want to prove to everyone that it's all right to feel emotion, and it's all right to be yourself. Be proud of who you are. You know what I mean? That's what I've noticed. I'm very proud about how quick I've come back from my knife attack, because some people said that they wouldn't have boxed again in my position, and it's more easier said than done. But I'm very proud of how far I've come in life.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Testament to your character, man. I think you're right. And that's why I do, like I said, I do a lot of interviews of adversity and all sorts of different things. And why I like to interview people like that, and you're the same, you've had a bit of adversity, is it makes you reevaluate yourself and what you're doing. And you can do one or two things to your adversity. It can either break you where you give up, and unfortunately people do give up. Or it can actually, you reevaluate and go, how can I absorb this and do something with it? And you've took the positive side of it and gone, right, I know who I am now, and you've took it and you've used that to bring yourself back to what you're passionate about. So that's brilliant. So what have you had? 7 knockouts, is it? No losses?
No, I've had 7 fights and 7 wins. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm making me 8th professional fight on Saturday in Bolton at the Macron Stadium. Right.
Okay. Excellent. So have you got your passport ready for that, for Bolton?
Yeah. So I'm actually going on holiday the week later, so it works out well that I've got my fight date there. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then going on holiday, I think it's a nice little break that I needed as well. Everybody needs a bit of break sometimes. I've learned that to let me self-esteem go down. Let be myself for a change. You know what I mean? Not live too much like a monk. You know. I'm always getting told off for being a gym rat. I'm in the gym every day, 2-3 times a day. They're sick of seeing me. So. but for what you're doing, you need to have that level. It's like anything. If anyone wants to be really good at something, you have to have that dedication, and it almost can be. It can absorb your life, and you can go to the extreme. But for you to be in your physical peak fitness, do you need to put that effort? I mean, I wouldn't profess to be, but I used to train in a boxing and wrestling gym in Eccles as well years ago. So I know it's like, I've seen the fighters, I've seen people training. I've done a lot of training myself in the past, not for the last few years, but I have. I know it's tough, and it's tough that you've got to go and keep going and keep going when your body's going, I don't want to do it anymore. And for you to get to that next level is unbelievable. So what I'm interested to know, so all that's gone on in your personal life and the attack and everything. Yeah.
So I'm making a presumption now. When you step into that ring on Saturday, does a button flick over and everything else just disappears and there's just one thing ahead of you? What does that feel like to step in that ring?
Well, for my first 7 fights, I'll be honest with you, I got in there and I'm thinking, right, you're gonna get it, you bugger, because that's what I've trained to do. But this fight, because of my knife attack, it's put me out for so long. It's a very special event to me, so I think I'll handle things a lot differently, to the point where I'm going to feel more nervous and I'm going to be very excited. Where in the past I was just, it's just another fight. But this one, it's actually a special occasion because I'm a return to boxing. So I'm very happy with how things have gone, and I'm really looking forward to getting back there on Saturday. So I think I will handle things different, and my mentality will definitely be different. Yeah. But nevertheless, I'm very, very, very excited.
I'm sure you are. I bet you are, because it's like anything you do. If you're passionate about it and it's a major event that you're going to, you get the butterflies going and the nerves. And I do public speaking as a thing as well. And I know I've done a couple of big events and what have you. And leading up to it's like the anticipation, the nerves, and you think, why am I nervous? And then I step on stage, the same sort of thing, and the nerves seem to go away, and you've been like you've been training for it, so you just flick into what you've been learning and what you've done, and you just do it. So it's good. I think it's great. So what's the plans after this fight? Are you going to see how this goes? Have you got anything else booked on in the future, or do you just have to take this one? Do you have to take it one step at a time, one fight at a time?
Well, yeah, I think that. Well, obviously, I got this fight. I'm very confident of winning. I'm not going to underestimate my opponent, not in a long stretch, because I've never underestimated anyone in my life. But I'm going to hopefully win this fight, and then I'm looking at September 15th, my next fight. So I'm going to go and have a little holiday. Have a little holiday to the Gran Canaria after my fight, and then when I get back into England, I'm going to start my training camp again for September 15th at the Victoria Warehouse in Salford Keys. So that's going to be a very good event. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, and that's where you're fighting then, in the Salford Keys. Is that where the fight is, you say? Or is that where you...
Yeah, that's where my fight on September 15th will be, at Victoria Warehouse in the Salford Keys.
Oh, well, I wish you luck for both, but look for both of them. So your opponent on Saturday, you're welcome. When your opponent on Saturday, where's he from? Whereabouts is he? Where's he from?
He's a Welsh lad. He's 29 years old. He's only had 4 fights. He's from... Where's he from? He's from South Wales, near Cardiff. He's not far from Cardiff. Cool. Yeah, so
2 UK fighters then, and in the ring on Saturday. Has it been?
That's it.
I think there's a real buzz. All the people that I know, there's lots of people I know, and there's a real buzz about your fight on Saturday, and I think it's great that you got a lot of people like that supporting you. And I've seen some of the Facebook things that are going on, and everyone wishing you all the best. And I knew you'd been back in Eccles, and that's why I was asking you where you was living, because you said I'm back, and I thought actually, where's it? He must have moved away, and he's come back, and he's doing something. So yeah, I saw those images on Facebook as well. So, if anyone wants any more information, what's the best way of getting hold of you? Because obviously you're talking about a subject, you're talking about boxing, you talk about being attacked. Is there anywhere people can go? Have you got any management or anywhere where, if people want to know a bit more information or know more about you as an individual, or you as a fighter, where's the best place for people to get hold of you?
Well, I have different varieties of social media, like Facebook, it's Luke Evo. Twitter is Evo Evans Boxing 1. My Instagram is Evo Boxer Official. I've got a Snapchat account which is LD96. So I'm very, very busy on my social media. Yeah. So fans, family, friends, everyone can keep in touch with me, and I can keep that fan base growing, and hopefully everyone's enjoying the things I post and things like that. So I think my social media is the best way to find out more information. I've obviously got a lot of sponsors who help me out financially and promoting wise. So I've got Allegiance Ltd, they're based in Eccles. I've got IJ Plant and Labour Hire, which are based in Leyland near Chorley. So I've got a lot of good sponsors. I've got Kinsella Tax, they're based in Cheadle, Wilmslow. So yeah, I've got some very good sponsors. So I'm very, very grateful for their support. Brilliant. And they help me publicity-wise and promoting-wise as much as I help them. So it works both ways. So yeah. I have to be grateful to them.
Yeah, I'm sure they're grateful to have you on board, because it is good to sponsor someone like yourself who's doing what he's doing, and to return back to boxing after such a horrific attack. So I'll tell you what, there's another question. So what got you into boxing? Where did you come from to say, do you know what, I'm going to put some boxing gloves on and I'm going to go and get in the ring and let someone hit me? Where did that come from? Because do you know what I mean? It's not something when you've got because I've got 3 lads. It's not something I've ever said to him, do you fancy boxing, son? And mums are always going, well, he's not going to do boxing. Can't do boxing. What got you into boxing? What drove you there? Was there a reason why you started boxing in the first place?
I actually started off in football as a young lad. My dad was a professional footballer in his own right growing up. He played for Liarmai, Preston. He played for all the smaller clubs, but he got to the FA Cup. I think it was the quarter-final. I think it was against Fulham in 1999. So that was a massive achievement for my dad to take a club to that level, to get to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. And Fulham was the team to beat then at that time in 1999. So I was very proud of my dad for that. I wanted to follow in his footsteps and hopefully go down the route like United and Bury and stuff like that, and the local clubs. And to be fair, I could have had a trial with Bury and things could have been very different now, but I didn't go. I didn't take the offer that I received, and I thought to myself, well, I'm starting high school soon. I was 10 years old. I'm starting high school within the next year or two. So why not go into boxing to try and, protect myself from the bullies and stuff, as you heard all the stories. So that's pretty much where it started. And then I started at the Barton Amateur Boxing Club, also known as Shack Ladies, based behind Cosmo Bingo.
Can I just stop you there? That's where I used to train, and my dad used to train, and my dad still trains there now, and he's in his 70s actually at the new one. But that is just fun. That is unbelievable. Carry on. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, I had a funny feeling that's the club you was talking about. It's got a great legacy, that club. I think it was, if I remember correctly, in 2007 when I had I think it was 2008 or 2007 when I had my first amateur fight. I was the first amateur boxer that Barton Amateur Boxing Club had to win in 30 years on the debut, I think it was.
Wow.
It was a very weird statistic, I should say, but it was something that got me a lot of publicity back then as a 10, 11-year-old lad. Yeah. So I was very, very happy with that achievement. Very proud of myself for that achievement as well. I remember it being in the Salford Advertiser, believe it or not. It was such a good achievement, and that's where I started off. And then I moved to the Earlham Amateur Boxing Club, and I was there for about 8 years with a man called Gary Booth, who took me to a very good level as a pro, got me to 6-0. He got as a pro, and then unfortunately, through some unforeseen circumstances, we kind of fell out. But if Gary ever hears this interview, I wish him all the best.
Nice.
And then I moved to the Hatton Gym. I got a fantastic offer to go there, and Ricky Hatton and Blaine Eunice being my coach, and Ricky Hatton being there for me as some sort of person for advice and showing me all the ropes and stuff. And he's been there through all my training camp for this fight. So I have to thank Blaine Eunice, Mike Jackson, and Ricky Hatton and all the Hatton Gym for all their support, and obviously Ricky for putting me up in his house as well, one of his houses. I mean, that's really helped me out. I've been able to train a hell of a lot more and better myself as a fighter and being more of a complete fighter. So without them guys, that's where I wouldn't be. So thank you to them.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's a wonderful story, and I could tingles them because you were talking about things, and a couple of things. Obviously, Ricky. Your manager helping you out and giving you that house, he's obviously realised what you need as an individual and provide it for you, and you're appreciative, and it will have helped you. That is great, and that's what all good managers, leaders and people do. So that's fair play. Hats off to him for doing that and helping you along the way. But the fact that you used to train at a gym that I used to train at, and all my family have trained at, because my brother Dean, he lives in Malta now, but he actually, when he was younger, was a wrestler. And he wrestled. I think he was a junior champion in the UK. Because I'm talking years ago now. And he used to be, a wrestler. And I used to train with all the boxers and all the wrestlers. And it was Shack Ladies. You'll be too young to remember him. He was a guy that had been in the Olympics, boxing and wrestling. And what a great guy and what a motivator. And that gym, that legacy is, he's if you ever go into in that building, I could still feel him in that building. I know they've moved now, but what a character. And the fact, that's weird. That's really weird that you used to train there. That's bizarre. Funny.
Yeah, I mean, like they've been in 3 locations, that gym. I don't know if you're aware of. It was on I think it was, what road was it called now? It was on a road anyway, like this road, and they moved to another location, and they finally settled now behind some flats in Eccles, and they've got a new building, Shack Ladies, they got a new building. It's absolutely fantastic. The facilities there are amazing. The Cosmo Bingo is no longer... The gym behind Cosmo Bingo is no longer there, unfortunately, because they had to demolish the building. But the legacy will always live on of the Shack Ladies gym, right from always to the past, right to the core of it. The legacy will always live on. All the great athletes that have come through and passed through and been there and even the likes of myself, people who was growing up there as well as a kid and learning the trade there. You know, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's good, and it's good to get people into in something passionate. And going back to the very start, when we were talking about these lads walking around with knives and things like that, and going back to that and linking it to what you're doing and the gym. If more young guys and girls moved away from that and got into something, my lad's into doing mixed martial arts, doing kickboxing in a minute, and he's just finishing school, but he's, Dad, where are you going? He said, I'm going to the gym. So he's gone to the local gym. He's trained down there. Then he does his kickboxing and all the rest of it. I'm not saying he wouldn't, but the chances of him getting into that sort of thing is minimal, because his mind is in a different place. His mind is about looking after his body, getting fit, going to the gym, not drinking, a bit like you. So the chances of him doing something like that is going to be very minimal. And I think we need to try and encourage more kids to find something, because they find something to get involved in, to get passionate about, that gets rid of the, let's have it right, a lot of men, young boys and young guys have got a lot of energy from the hormones, and they need to release it, and doing something physical will help them, I believe, anyway. So that's me as an old guy saying, get them in the gyms, get them training, for God's sake, get them off the streets.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I couldn't agree more with you there. I mean, we need to address that fact that there's a lot of young lads growing up on the streets and they've got nothing better to do and they're just getting themselves in trouble. I mean, I was no saint growing up, not going to lie, but like at the end of the day, you learn, you mature as a person as you get older when you see new things. And I recommend anyone to get into sports in general. It doesn't have to be boxing, doesn't have to be anything. Sports in general, because it takes you off the streets, it gives you discipline. You know, it's people who are hanging around in gangs. Like, if you're hanging around in gangs, if one of you get in trouble, everyone gets in trouble, and it's just not worth. It's just not worth your future, risking your future for it. You know, you don't want that looming over your future. You want to be doing something positive with your life, something that's going to catapult you to better heights as a person, and give you a better life. Yeah, so
definitely. I think you're right. Discipline is very important as well. So anyway, we could talk all day about all that and the whys and wherefores, but that's just our input on life. And I know you've got a lot on, and I know you've been doing loads of interviews and you're getting ready for your fight. Is there anything I've not asked you that you want to add into the interview?
Not really, no. I mean, I'm happy with the subjects we've covered. I mean, like, if anything, I just want to say I want to raise awareness for knife crime. I just want people to try and think about it before they go and do something, because like then 10 seconds you think about it before you actually take a knife out or a weapon out. You know, that could save your life, that could save their life, and honest to God, it's just not worth it. You're risking your own life just as much as someone else's, and it's a shame. It's a shame. So I hope people really do take notice of that and do listen to what I just said and hopefully raise awareness for knife crime. Yeah, definitely. I'm offline. I might have to hook you with the guy that I know called Jamie Denyer. He's over down in Wales, and it's not the same as knife crime, but he does a lot of public speaking in gypsy camps, in traveller camps, gypsy camps, whatever you want to say it. In prisons and in schools, because his young nephew took well, you'll know about boxing, but he got punched when he wasn't aware of it. So it's like a sucker punch or something. He got punched and he wasn't aware of it, and basically he died. An illegal blow. Yeah, he died. Oh,
he did basically.
Very, very tragic.
So
very sorry to hear that.
No, well, yeah, it's terrible. So he campaigns and goes around and talks about it. So he could be a really interesting person for you to talk to, because what you're talking about is very something similar. And I know you're busy doing your training, but it might be something you can, if you want to get into that, you can get into that. But I'll hook you up with him offline, because he's a beautiful guy. You'll really get on well with him. But yeah,
brilliant.
And I can see you doing something in campaign and doing something with what you do with your boxing that raises more awareness of the knife crime, and I'm glad we've covered that and not just talked about the boxing.
Thank you very much. No, I appreciate you letting me get on. I mean, can I just also say a massive shout out to two people, two organisations, I should say.
Yeah.
I just want to say a massive shout out to everyone who supports Duchenne Now. Please keep following that, because Duchenne Now, it's a muscular dystrophy. I just want to raise awareness for that, and I also want to raise awareness for a lovely lady I know called Chantel. Chantel Pollard. You can follow her on Facebook at Chantel's Journey, on Instagram as Chantel's Journey. She was on ITV not long ago. She was raising awareness for young onset Parkinson's disease. So hopefully people can follow them as well and show their support like they've done to me to them. Good. I'll appreciate that.
No, that's great. So I love interviewing people, and I love talking to people and finding out the stories, and they just relax and, like I say, I want people to just as if they've been sat talking to us, and it's been absolutely amazing to talk to you, and I really appreciate you taking time out. I'm going to give JP a big shout out, Mulhern, for hooking us up in the first place, because he's an Eccles lad and he's up to stuff, so thanks for him for doing that.
Quality. Thank you, mate. Yeah.
Thanks for him for doing that. It's a bit of a rough diamond, but he's got the heart's in the right place, isn't it? So
diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough. Yeah. Anyway, I wish you all the best on Saturday, and then on the 15th of September, and hope it all goes well for you. And tell you what, mate, when you go away, just go and have a good relax, go and have a good chill out. You deserve it.
Oh, don't you worry.
Life's too short. Life's too short to be a monk 24/7.
It sure is. Mate. It sure is.
Great.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. And hopefully we'll talk again soon.
We will do, mate. I'll be pestering you now. I've got your number.
Thank you to everyone who's tuned in as well. I mean, it's a fantastic thing. So, hopefully everyone will tune in and keep supporting you as well.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks
You're
for
a top bloke. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
The Duggystone Show.
Wasn't that good, people? Wasn't that good? Big shout out to Luke. Thanks for spending the time. I know it's really busy. It's difficult to get hold of people, but we managed it in the end, and it's great. So hopefully he won, because by the time he listens to this, he might have fought. But he's also fighting on the 15th of September, as he said. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah, this podcast goes out on all platforms. TuneIn Radio, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. It'll be on our website as well. We've got a radio station, and that's where some of these shows come from. So if you're not aware of that, go and check us out on Duggystone Radio. Duggystone Radio. That's Duggystone Radio. We're also on the Alexa app now as well, which is great. So all you need to do, if you've got an Alexa, all you need to do with that, go to your Alexa app, go to drop-down menu, go to the skills, and then search for Duggystone Radio. And all you need to do is enable the skill, and then whenever you want to tune into the station, all you've got to do is say, Alexa, open Duggystone Radio.
Welcome to Duggystone Radio Station. The live stream is going to start shortly.
Yeah, so if you're listening, there you go. And that's me on the station right now. So there you go, on another show. So that's what you need to do, people. Keep it Duggystone Radio. Go and check out our website, which is Duggystone, Duggystoneradio.com. And if you want to get on a show, or you want to be interviewed, that's the best place to get hold of us. Or you can send us a message, contact@Duggystone Radio. Until next time, people, see ya.
The Duggystone Show.